The Helica thermal coagulator consists of 5 main components: a purpose-made stand, the instrument, an F-size or equivalent cylinder of medical helium gas with a regulator, a foot switch, and a one-use only probe. Helica probes have an external diameter of 4 mm and therefore will pass through a 5 mm cannula. There are a variety of different lengths and types of probes to suit specific applications. Please refer to the Helica literature to identify which is most suitable for your requirements. Each probe is supplied as a single unit within a double-wrapped sterile pack with an appropriate code for ease of identification before use or when reordering. The probes are a single-use only consumable. Do not use repeat ETO cleaning or sterilizing processes, as these will damage the probe, with the result that it won't work efficiently again. On the front of the machine, there's a panel which accommodates the main controls. On the left, there's an earthing lead socket. An earthing lead with a 4 mm jack plug connection is supplied for the patient's safety. This is for use in a standard earth plate. New instruments have a reusable magnetic connector for a standard earth plate, as shown. Above this, there's a power on-off green light indicator. The main power switch is at the rear of the unit. To the right, there's a foot switch socket. Directly above that, there's a power trim knob with linear controls. This controls the power at the lower setting for laparoscopic use. In the centre of the panel is the main power control knob, low, medium and high. Directly above is the foot control on-off blue light indicator. A buzzer will also sound when the probe is activated. Below and to the right, there's an on-off control switch. This should be used when changing probes. Furthest to the right are 2 probe ports. One is for the electrical power supply and the other for the helium gas. At the back of the machine on the left, there's a procedure switch which indicates laparoscopy or delay. The delay position is used for open surgery. Below this switch is the helium gas entry port. Furthest to the right is the main power socket and the mains power switch. When the Helica thermal coagulator has been switched on and is ready to be used, it's important to check that the controls are all in the correct positions for laparoscopic procedures. Firstly, switch on the machine. It should be plugged into a standard 240 volt electrical socket. Ensure the foot switch is plugged into the device. On the front of the machine is the standby switch, which should be turned on. Then switch on the gas by turning the key anti-clockwise about half a turn until the needle indicates gas flow. A green light indicates the machine is on and ready for use. A blue light and an audible buzzer indicate when the foot pedal is depressed and the device is active. The main power control knob should be in the low position, and the procedure switch at the back of the machine should be switched to laparoscopic mode. Attach the probe to the Helica by means of the 2 connections on the front right of the device. The power lead is a push fit, and the gas lead clicks into position with the retainer. To remove the gas lead, push it in again and this will release the cable from the socket. The trim knob controls the power settings required for all laparoscopic procedures. The lowest power setting is between 1 or 2 watts and 12 watts. The power is increased by turning the knob clockwise. The trim knob will operate only when the main control switch is in the low position. Most laparoscopic procedures are begun with the trim knob at the 6 o'clock position, i.e. about 6 to 8 watts. The trim knob allows the surgeon to control the depth and penetration required, which, if necessary, could be as fine as 1 cell to a maximum depth of 1.1 mm. Further increase to 12 watts or higher can be made by taking your foot off the pedal, adjusting power, and then pressing the pedal again. There is no adjustment on the regulator on the gas bottle. Switch on the gas anti-clockwise. Check the contents gauge to see if there's helium in the cylinder. Switch off the gas clockwise. If the gauge needle drops, this indicates there's a leak. If everything's okay, turn on the gas again. For convenience, we suggest testing each probe before use. This is done by pointing the probe to within 5 mm of any sterile stainless steel instrument, or a very wet swab, and then pressing the foot switch to check that the plasma beam can be clearly seen. There is a slight delay. This procedure, if carried out as routine, will A. identify that the probe is working and not damaged in any way, B. the helium gas supply is switched on and flowing properly, and C. the instrument is working as it should. Two important points when the procedure is completed. Remember to turn off the gas by turning the key clockwise. The needle will not move straight away as there's still gas in the connection tube. Secondly, when removing the patient earthing return lead, take care not to discard the neutral plate adapter, magnetic on new machines. The Helica is a robust and reliable device, but if there are any issues, please contact Helica for prompt service from one of our engineers.